I'm good. I'm good.
You have a
Where are you?
sorry?
Where are you from?
Canada. What about you?
Oh, nice, Canada. I've always wanted to go to Canada. Brazil.
Sorry, where are you?
I'm from Brazil.
Ooh, awesome. Okay, you read a ton. I love your view. You have a ton of books.
Oh yeah,
What?
kind of.
Why don't we do an exchange of books? I'll suggest one book to you, and you suggest one book to me.
Sure.
All right. You want to go first, or should I go first?
You go first.
All right. So the book you should definitely get is this one.
Beatrice.
Yes, find your purpose and become the leader you were born to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not.
So
Thank you.
it's all about finding out what your core value is, essentially,
I see.
and then building your business and your life around your core value, and channeling kind of like purpose from pain. Like purpose in life comes from pain. So when you find out really what is the thing that you're running away from, what was the thing that you've always had to face, you can use that as like a positive thing to help other people.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a definite. Okay. What about you? Share. What's a book that I should read?
Well, since you've recommended me a non-fiction book,
Yes.
I also recommend you a non-fiction book. Kind of.
Worthy. Unwomanly Face of War. That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unwomanly, not womanly. I
Yeah.
wrote wrong.
Unwomanly Face of War. Uh,
It's
Svetlana.
all. Yeah. It's all about the women the Soviet women who served on the Second World War, and it's like this author, she takes these women accounts and she weaves them into kind of a narrative. She's not trying to tell you what happens in the war. I mean, we pretty much know what happens, but she wants to show us an emotional landscape of what went on these people.
Not just the facts.
Yeah, mostly not facts. It's more about the emotions that were going on inside these women.
Wow. I've never
But
I've never heard of that a kind of book like that.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's kind of a tough book because a lot of these women carry uh, lots of scars from the war.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but it's definitely well worth your time.
What
Read.
what what resonated with you in that book? Like why did you connect with it?
The raw emotion in it, and even and sometimes even in the midst of chaos and ugly stuff, there were some moments of beauty. I don't know. It was just you know. I rarely even cry with books, but with that one, I cried several times.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. That is really beautiful. Okay, definitely I'm saving that book. But and this is the thing, this is what I was talking about, right? Like from this massive pain, this woman, Svetlana, she goes out and she finds a purpose. She writes a book. She writes a book
yeah,
accounting for these women who's nobody gone made any effort to talk to,
yeah.
right? That's amazing. That's so cool. So how's it going in? I mean, that's a general question, but how are you seeing the changes in happening in Brazil now? So we've been about 100 days, a little more than 100 days, into this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of uh I don't know. It's kind of bad.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's the what's the worst part for you?
not leaving home all that much and not being able to be with the people I love, time.
Are they just isolating themselves from you, or are they like in another part of Brazil and you can't travel? What is that like?
Yes, of these these security measures of social distancing and stuff. We're all pretty much at home, and I live with my parents, so I have them. Uh, but there are other people I love, and then I kind of don't know.
Right.
That's the
Okay.
one thing.
So is it just like everybody's kind of dropped contact altogether right now, or are you doing video calls? Like, what is that like for you?
I mean, we can call it, but sometimes I do, but uh, I don't know. It's thing.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
No, I know. Well, listen. Also, for Brazilian people, some of the kindest, warmest people I've ever met, touch, contact is very important.
Yeah.
You give a lot of hugs. You give a lot of hugs, a lot of high fives. There's a lot of contact, right?
Yeah. That's right.
That's like air, and then now you said you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh wow. How can you finish up today with a bigger smile on your face? What are two things you can do today to really be satisfied?
Usually, usually listening to some music helps. Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
And another one. But it has to be with you getting in touch with someone somehow. And listen, Gabriel, the answer might be there's no one right now that I can get in touch with. Maybe that's the answer, right? Which is fine.
well, maybe trying to get closer to my parents. I don't know. In a way.
Which of them do you wish you could know a little bit better?
Um, maybe my father, just because when I grew up, he was always kind of a little bit distance, uh, and but he's a really nice guy.
Sure.
It's just that he's kind of an introvert guy.
Yeah, I understand that. So then why don't you do this? Why don't you go find like do you know a lot about his because I'm getting to know my dad right now. Like I'm spending time with my dad virtually to get to
I
know
see.
him. Cuz I'm worried that I will at some point he'll die and I'll never get to know him. Well, he is going
Yeah,
to die at some point, but I'll never get to know him, right? So,
yeah,
is there something you'd want to find out about your dad that you still don't know?
yeah. It's interesting. Your parents, you always like kind of take them for granted. I mean, that past, you never think what they were like when they were your age or before that. Some
Yeah.
things you hear, some things they tell you without you asking. But yeah, it's kind of hard to have this match of your parents as young people like yourself.
Yeah, because he was your age, he was younger than you, right? Like he had hopes and dreams and there was things that he wanted to do. And he had his own relationship. Like do you know anything about your dad's relationship with his parents?
Not much. uh, I know about him and his sister, my aunt.
Right.
Um, yeah, because I'm quite close to her, and also my grandmother, his mother. But I'm not sure about what went on with his parents when he was a kid.
Yeah. why don't you get closer to your dad? That's what I'm doing. I'm finding out about my dad serving in the army, and I'm finding out about how he grew up with his brothers, and I'm occasionally having these conversations, but it's like it's the it's the Svetlana kind of biopic, right? Like it's the like finding out how not only information, but how he felt about it. And sometimes he'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's just life. It's just what it is, what it is." And other times he'll go a little deeper. But it just
Yeah.
brings me closer. You know,
Yeah.
because it started. The reason I started talking to him more was about 3 years ago. I asked myself this question. If I had 7 days to live, what are three things I would want to do? If I had 7 days to live, what are three things I would want to do? And one of the three things I wrote was get to know my dad better.
Sure.
And so because of that, I was like, okay, I gotta go talk to him. I gotta start talking to him. And it took a while, but it's better than living in, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so get to know your dad, Gabriel. Just try. Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll say nothing. He'll be like, why are you asking me these questions? Or he'll be like, well, listen, I used to play around a lot until I met your mom. I had all these, right? Like, who knows what he's gonna say?
Yeah, I know some things, but it's just that my memory is not that good, so sometimes I forget them. But yeah, still talking about that. Some things are coming back. Some stories and stuff.
I think it's really special when you deepen connections to the people in your life in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
Because then it feels like, I don't know. For me at least, it feels like I'm less lonely because I have more substance in my life versus surface level conversations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Gabriel, it was a pleasure talking with you, eh?
Yeah.
Have an amazing day. Thank you for introducing me to the book also.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the book as well. It talks about.
My pleasure. Have a great day, okay?
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.